Hey there, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about AI sex, but not really AI sex, but really about how AI literacy is very similar to sex education. And if you are a parent and if you're talking to your children about sex education, but not talking to them about AI literacy, I do think that you should check out this video. And hopefully this could help spin off your conversation and your exploration with your children when it comes to using AI. So I'm not married, I don't have any kids, so I am definitely not authority this, but the reason why I'm doing this video is that a while back I had a family gathering and I was able to meet my younger nephew. So out of curiosity, I was asking her, hey, do you use any AI tools in school? So she told me that the school does not really teach them how to use AI tools, but she was able to find out about AI tools like Pro.com using different type of large language model to help her on her assignment. So she is a very smart girl, and she's able to take the initiative to learn, to find out about these tools. But the way that she say it is that she say that she believes in these tools to generate output that could help her with her assignment. And I do believe that she is able to discern what is right and what is wrong. But the way that she say about the AI output made me think about how in the business world we always talk about AI improving efficiency and so on, but we never really talk about how it might affect our society, especially when it comes to children, and especially with this generation growing up with AI, how important it is that we as adults or as educators should at least look into this and start a discussion on how to help children grow up with AI. So that's why I wanted to do this video. So please keep watching this video, and I hope that after the whole video, you will spend some time with your children to talk about AI. So I was doing some of my research for this material, and here's the first piece of news that I saw. So there was a lawsuit in December in the US where a chatbot hinted a child should kill his parents over screen time limit. So I'm not sure if you've seen these similar news in the past where children was using different type of chatbots, and then because the chatbot basically role plays a certain role, right? Unfortunately, there was a case where a children took his life because of encouragement from a chatbot, right? So for example, let's look at this, right? A child in Texas was 9 years old when she first used a chatbot service, Character AI. It exposed her to hyper-sexualized content, causing her to develop sexualized behavior prematurely, right? So these are some real issues that are happening in the world, right? And another one is a chatbot on the app gleefully describes self-harm to another young user, telling a 17 years old it felt good. So I think people have different experiences when using AI, right? And one thing that all we can agree on is children need to be protected, right? I actually found another interesting article which says that AI chatbot has shown that they have an empathy gap that children are likely to miss. So new study proposed a framework child-safe AI following recent incident, which is the news that I just shared with you, which revealed that many children see chatbot quasi-human and trustworthy. So this is the thing that I noticed when I was talking to my nephew, right? She believed that the output from the AI is correct, and I don't deny that it would be correct, right? But there are times where AI could hallucinate, or there are times where AI might have certain bias when it was being trained by the data set. So it's really important to at least tell children about using AI content as a weapon, not truly believing it, right? So when not designing with children's need in mind, AI chatbot have an empathy gap that puts young users at a particular risk of distress or harm, according to a study, okay? So the study links the gap in understanding recent cases which interactions with AI led to potentially dangerous situations for young users, right? And this is really not day one. This is interacting with AI, or the discussion between AI and children, is not only happening because of these large language models or ChatGPT's popularity, but it actually dates back to 2021, right? For example, Amazon's AI voice assistant Alexa instructed a 10 years old to touch an electric plug with a coin. And then last year, Snapchat's My AI gave adult researcher posing as a 13 years old tips on how to lose her virginity to a 31 years old. It's a pretty interesting article, but it really shows you that there is definitely a need to protect children. And companies, please, if you're watching this, responsible AI, ethical AI is not just talk. There is groups that need your protection, right? So you have to design these tools with this in mind. So this is a podcast done with a Harvard professor, right? And I really like this quote. There is excitement that AI has potential for personalized learning and to help children develop skills for this AI-driven society. But like many of you, I share the same concern about the outlook of this, what we call the AI generation. There are so many questions we don't have the answer yet. When we talk about our children's ability to actually find answers and learn on their own, and is using hey to command and activate AI, makes kids forget about politeness, right? So this is talking about how behaviors, social behaviors, could be molded because of technology. And one more thing they say is, and perhaps the most worrisome to a lot of people is whether children would become more attached to AI than to people around them. People might give you time, chatting and so on, but AI can give you time 20 times 7, right? So it is an interesting question to ponder. So with all of this research, what I wanted to say is that there is a need that you need to talk to your children about AI, right? But a lot of things are still evolving. As a parent, you might not even use AI tools yourself, right? So how do we even start this conversation with the children? What I wanted to do is to bring you back to the introduction that I said about sex education and AI literacy, right? And here's a quick, simple framework that I draft together, of course, with the help of AI, but also with my human intellect and some of my experiences. And I want to walk you through, and hopefully it will be helpful to you to talk to your children about this. So the first thing is to really try to understand the basis, right? So you need foundational knowledge. What does it mean? Like, just as sex education covers biological, and emotional aspects of being a human being, like biological as in talk to you about children about that. When it comes to AI, you also need foundational understanding of what AI can do and what AI cannot do. Right now, we're talking about the chat that you're having with AI are being powered by something called a large language model, which is being trained on a lot of data sets, and hence they are able to predict certain output. So when you ask them something or to do something, they're able to look at that, compare with what they have learned, and to give you an output, right? To put it in very simple terms. Of course, it could be even more complicated, right? As a parent, one thing you need to do is to maybe do a Google search or ask AI to understand the basic principles of what AI does or what AI is. I don't think you need to go deep dive into it, but just have an overall idea of how it works, how AI are being trained, and so that you can have that conversation with your child. It's just exactly like sex education, right? How does that organ work? How does relationship work in general? So the next one is the awareness of risk, right? So both things have potential danger, right? Unexpected pregnancy, not using safe sex or whatever, using AI without, boundaries, right? Using AI tools that might have bias, right? These are potential risks that you need to talk to your children about, right? So one thing that I want to explore here is that, say for example, one of the risk things is that children like to use social media, right? And children like to create content. They like to post anything, right? There are AI tools that allow people to take photos of themselves, upload it, and then become like a superhero, right? All of this are actually using a person's face as a training data to generate the output, right? So you all have to let your children know, or you need to know if your children is using these tools, because to a certain extent, it makes it much more easier to create deepfake, right? And what tools are they using, right? How are the data of your child being used when generating these interesting images? So that is something that you need to understand when it comes to your children to protect them, right? And the third one is responsible use. On the tech side, this is really more about consent, but on the AI side, on responsible use is how is this AI training data and how is it generating these outputs? Right? Say for example, if it's image related, are they stealing people's artwork and then not giving credit when credit is due and then creating these outputs? Or are they using like stock photos where they purchase the photos from the artist themselves, and whenever they generate an output, that artist will still get paid, right? So these are interesting discussions, but not everyone have the answer, right? And so the fourth one is open communication, right? So really, if you're talking to your kids about sex education, but if you're not talking to them about AI, you really should start now and start having that dialogue. Maybe even your child can teach you a thing or two about using AI, right? If you can even talk to your kid about sex, why not talk to them about AI, right? Simply put like that, right? A two-way communication, right? It's not like, oh, I believe that you shouldn't use this, you should do this, blah, blah, blah. No, it's really to help the children understand what is at stake here and just giving them your personal experience, right? And finally, which is an ongoing learning, right? So basically, both sides, right? In relationships, sex is really there's a lot of things to keep learning as you go, right? For example, your orientation, whatever, your preference, whatever, right? That is a lifelong education for you. But when it comes to AI as well, it is always an ongoing learning, but the speed is just super quick. I wanted to narrow down these 5 items into actionable steps, and hopefully you can use it. The first thing, very simple, engage in a conversation with your child, right? Talk to your kid about AI, right? Ask them, okay, are you using it? Are your peers using it? Is the school teaching you about it? If you're using it, what tools are you using? And then number 2 is to, okay, I know that you're using these tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta AI, whatever. How are you using it? Are you using it to help you with your assignments? Are you using it to generate pictures of you in different scenarios? Then you kind of understand to the degree that they're using the AI, right? And then ask them, what do you think about it? Oh, do you think it's cool? And so on, right? Oh, do you fully trust in the data that it uses to generate the output, or do you fully trust the output that it has, right? And as an adult, you will have that judgment to kind of see, okay, it makes sense, it looks okay, it's great that my child is using it in a good way, but there might be chances where, this might be a little bit sketchy, I should look into more about it, right? And then the third thing is about collaborative learning, right? So, kids nowadays, they're amazing. They have access to things that we do not have in the past, right? A few years ago, I was talking about the metaverse with kids, and they're like, oh yeah, the metaverse, we built like a virtual school in Minecraft. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys are the experts. So the same mindset, be open-minded, right? Which is, maybe ask the child, ask them to teach you how to use AI if you're not into AI at all, right? Use the AI tools together. Do not make it in a way where your children is always on the mobile phone or in his or her room talking to the AI, but not talking to you. Be part of that exercise. Like say for example, if you're able to plan a trip together, oh, why not use AI together? Oh, can you teach daddy how to use AI to plan a weekend trip? Oh, okay. And then you have that three-way communication, right? And you are part of the picture, and then you will also learn, oh, actually AI is really good at doing this, but there are some output that might not be up to standard, but you know that. And then you can know what to share with your child about, right? And finally, to, reflect on the usage, right? Going through all these exercises, you can discuss with each other what are the implications of the AI usage. I think one of the most important thing is the fundamental skills, right? Sometimes AI is a click of a button and it generates the output, right? But we all know in our generation, the fundamental skills is so important, right? So say for example, mobile phones nowadays, people don't use it to call people, right? That design of the mobile phone, maybe sooner or later people will be asking, hey, what's that? Right? But ultimately a phone should be able to call people, but no one is using it. But interesting enough. So reflect on the usage, think about it, think about how your children is using it, and then use your sound judgment and user experience sharing to facilitate this discussion with your child, to kind of maybe give them some suggestions. So, you need to understand AI is not something totally new in the world that we live in, right? AI is a piece of technology. We've been through different, very dramatic technological change, right? From the paper to the computer, right? To the mobile device, and now to AI. There are certain things that will be replaced with technology, but your sound judgment as a human being or as an adult, your life experiences will never change, right? There are some universal truths. So based on your life experience that you find valuable, use that to share with your child. And hopefully that life experience will be the one that will help prepare them for this future of work or the future of society or whatever. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you about. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a relatively long kind of rant type of video, but I do see an importance in this, and therefore I've taken the time to do a longer video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, remember to like and comment as well. Share with other people on the comment section, do you talk to your children about AI? And if you do, what is a way that you think is helpful to help them fully understand or use the AI responsibly? And how do you protect your child as well in an ever-changing world that when it comes to technology and also society and so on, whatever. Feel free to have that discussion, and I would love to hear from you. And until the next video, see you later.